In today's video, I'm just quickly going to review the patch notes, what's relevant, any updates, and then we're going to dive through what's in the winter event and what you need to do as a player. All right, let's speed through this. This is update 1.11. So the winter event update. The Startree event, I'm going to come back to this. This is what we'll cover second. Real quick, going through these patch notes, we have Archboss updates. They're temporarily adding from December 12th to January 9th. Additional spawns. The only issue with this is they put them in at the wrong times, it looks like. I'm on Mountain Time, but an East Coast server, so mine are 4 Eastern and 6 Eastern. That's the spawn timer. They have implemented now. Doesn't spawn till Saturday, so they might bring the servers down between now and then and fix it. Maybe, maybe not. Otherwise, those are going to be a weird, very weird window. So likely to be fixed, but they're basically throwing in some Archboss spawns to make up for ones that were broken in the past few weeks and giving no loot. Moving on, lifestyle content. We have cooking. We have an update here. In short, new cooking contracts can be found on contract managers. So these aren't recipes. Basically, we have new contract options we can take. This is only in Vienta Village. There's NPC there you can take contracts for, and it will reward you with food. I haven't seen the depth of this because I haven't gone through and done multiple contracts from this guy, but there are good food options in looking at them, so that's one update there. The other quality of life update here for cooking is they're trying to consolidate your space. They heard complaints. You go to cook 10 meals, suddenly you have 7 unique things in your inventory. They're trying to consolidate those, so you're going to get more like uncommon and rare meals. Is the TLDR, the real high level ones, we're going to get just rare. But it's really going to be dependent more so on the materials you put in, but they're also going to limit the amount that come out as far as varying qualities and such. So that's kind of it for cooking in the TLDR. Dungeon matchmaking penalty comes up next here on the list here. They put in a cooldown timer. They had talked about this last patch, but they finally implemented this. This is in. It's working. If you try to matchmake and you cancel, you get a 10-minute penalty. Boom. Okay, that's it. That's the TLDR on that. So less spamming of the screen. You want to sign up for this, you can go ahead and do so. Additionally with that, when you party matchmake, completing dungeons by queuing for random matchmaking now gives you 4 soul shard selection boxes, instead of just 4 soul shards for that dungeon. So, important to note. Next, we can jump into the general notes here, just kind of shoot through these bullets. Field Arch bosses increase drop rates of rare and epic gear. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, this stuff's been bugged. Sometimes they're dropping nothing. That'd be great news. I don't even know what their intended target is. Is it based on population? I don't know. I've heard varying things, but okay, good, you know, great news. I just don't know what the numbers really are. They don't really share that stuff, unfortunately. PvP, they reduced the duration of respawn protection. Little gold shield around you. This was especially long, like in Siege. That'll be shorter. That'll be very relevant. But same thing for different events, you know, out in open world. Automatic logout timer. Okay, that one doesn't really matter. What else do we have here? The Purification Stones update is very important. So if you upgraded your Purification Stones, they now work in the arena. They weren't before. If you don't know, you can upgrade your Purification Stones. You should do so. There's real good options. I talked about it in my last video. Whether you want to add healing or hit chance, check them out. The same guy that makes your original Purification Stone, go to him in town. He can upgrade. It's not too bad to do so, and you definitely should be looking to add that to your arsenal depending on what you want. Arena, they added runes to the arena vendor that you can purchase with arena coins. Okay, I went to check that out. Turns out we can only buy green runes. So, not the best option. Coin to rune ratio, it's not that great. I mean, if you really are trying to push it, go for it. But I think you'd be better served just getting a good group and grinding it. So, yeah, that's my take on them being added. The thoughts there, why not add blues, though? I just don't understand. So, this is probably the biggest thing in the patch notes. People are going insane, rightfully so. The weekly mission for Dimensional Trials was 10 or 15. That has been reduced to either 7 or 10. Let me quickly check that. Weekly mission update. So it's either 3 or 7. Wow, 7's the peak. That's beautiful. So much less demanding, basically, on your time. This was hard to do for a main and an alt for me. I mean, 15 of each was 30 a week, and I'm not even really pushing hard ones at that point, not to mention doing anything else. So this was much needed. Probably the most relevant, like, time pertinent thing, especially with the winter event coming, being here now. It's a much more respectful means of your time to be able to achieve that weekly reward. And that's probably the weekly reward everyone should be focused on trying to get done at this point right now. The whales got a shorter route from Stoneguard to Sardoma. That's in fishing, new fishing hotspots. These I actually haven't spotted and seen. But basically there should be hotspots popping up somewhere that you can fish in. More to come on that, but they're going to be out in the world. Look for them. We'll see about it. They expanded the fishing codex. I was just looking at that a little in game. War games, they have some quality of life stuff. Bug fixes, really. Nothing particularly crazy. War games are coming along. Not too much else here. Combat, pretty simple. We have some bug fixes here for Shadow Strike while jumping. Crossbow specialization. Some UI stuff here. Particularly, I like that they updated the UI for party. It's much clearer. You see it has a background to it. In our skill choices, we can double click to add skills now. So some basic things. Beyond that, we're going to move on. All right, they have a posting here for the Winter Solstice event as well. I'm going to jump between and try to explain. First here, they have the Island Arena matches. This kind of replaces your to-do. For the Halloween event, we had the dungeon. For this, there'll be arena matches. I know some people don't like PvP, but this is pretty fun. I'll give a quick overview on it for people that might be a little less inclined to PvP as well. This really isn't too bad. You go in here, you have 3 Amitois you pick, and you pretty much fight another team. It's 6v6. First, we have the Tree Amitoi. He's got a standard attack. They all have that. He also has a ranged AoE hail attack. So he's pretty good to sit back and just kind of shell the enemy with auto attacks. The ranged attack. He has a dash, which can be used to escape. And he also has a charge up attack. It's kind of like the bow charge up attack. Although once you launch it, it has to travel to the enemy. It can bump into walls and fall off. He's pretty much a good ranged attacker. I would recommend this probably to people that don't want to do pushing or pulling, because the other 2 guys are either pushing or pulling characters into a pit to kill. The Tree is pretty much just your auto attack guy. That's all he's going to do. He's good to just hang back, do damage, collect, slow people. You pretty much just want to position yourself where you're not about to be pulled or pushed into a pit. If you do that well, and as soon as people kind of come at you like the Yeti, you can just kind of dash back and keep attacking. That's what he's good at. Next, we have a Yeti. Also has a standard attack like the rest of them. But all you're pretty much going to do on this guy is use his one skill. His last one is a leap, which he can jump into the enemy. This is going to kind of slow them down, put you in a good position to then use your third skill, which is called a roll. But this is pretty much the sword and shield push. You can knock people into a pit. So you can just leap in, push them in, or just walk into position, push people in. Easy way to get kills on Yeti. That's pretty much it. He also has an ice wall, which is like the staff ice skill. It's going to ice yourself, but it also puts up a wall. You can use the wall to trap people or protect people. But a lot of people just kind of pop this if they're focused. This is probably your easiest guy to just go get kills with. It's pretty easy to push people. It's got nice width on catching targets and just dump them in a pit. Just learn kind of the collision around some of the points in the map. And beyond that, you just open up holes, or you can push them off the sides or push them into the holes. And it doesn't launch you into the hole. So pretty cut and dry. Yeti's straightforward. You'll see a lot of people playing Yeti probably. Penguin, I think, is the next. Instead of pushing, you're pulling people. He's got his standard attack. He's got his chain pull, which is how you kill people. Make sure you break ice pretty much in the middle of the map, and then you can just kind of stand by the ice pit and yoink people in. That is pretty much it in a nutshell to play Penguin. You don't even have to worry about his other skills too much. He has one Be Warm. It can remove Snowman, which is when people are dead and they turn into a snowman. You can remove that with it. And then they have an Invis, which is nice escape. Not bad if Yeti's coming and diving at you and leaping in. You can pop your Invis and just, reposition. Or if you're just in a bad spot getting focused or taking damage. So he's pretty good. He's more just a conservative version of kind of doing what Yeti does. You're pulling instead of pushing. It's a bit harder to pull than it is to push because you're kind of using a targeted delay chain skill. But overall, for people that don't PvP as much or they just don't want to push or pull, I'd probably recommend the tree. He's easy to just hang back with and not die. You can really minimize dying on him, and frankly, if you want to win the matches, it's not bad to do that. Most of the people will be pushing or pulling, though, likely, and just trying to scoop up kills and just kind of bully the other side. But tree can be played pretty conservatively. There's also healing in the arena, and there's different snowballs. Snowballs will give you charges to use your skills. That's pretty much it. That's the arena. The arena has weekly rewards, so each week you have to have victories. Even though the website says to just play matches, you actually have to have wins. First win gets you 20 wreaths. The second reward, which is 3 victories, gets you 10 balls. And then for 7 wins, you get 4 more. So at least doing up to 3 wins is pretty nice. You want to do at least 1. The Startree Wreath is really what you want. Every time you get some of these decoration balls here and you apply them to the tree in town, you will get an additional wreath as well as some kind of reward like a piece of food or something. And the food from the tree is spectacular. But you'll do this each week, and this is pretty much it for the weekly arena. We have mainly just kind of to-do stuff that you already normally would do, but just kind of check in and click accept on. So the Tree of Gratitude is in town. We'll go over and take a look at that. We also have this tree that's also in our Amitoi house, worth pointing out, and it's mentioned there as well. How this works is you basically will have new daily rewards to take, and they have catch-up days mechanic here, as they did with the Halloween event. They do this with all their events. These decorations are going to go on your Amitoi tree. Anytime you have these Startree orbs, just like in the arena matches, they're going to go in the town on the big tree. So I'll go over and show you that one. We have 2 things in the town to concern ourselves with during the winter event. As always, when we have an event, there's the merchant here. This guy requires us to have wreaths. So we get 20 when we turn in, and every time we turn in a decoration to the big tree, we also get an additional wreath. So getting 20 wreaths, we just have to win one of those matches. And in doing that, you can purchase your daily stuff for the whole week, which includes a lot of trade unlock stones, books. Just scoop all this out, okay? Now the golden paste bait, I haven't used yet, but 20% chance to catch a golden fish apparently, which has, I don't know if it's a typo, but 10 million solent. More or less, you can get a lot of solent apparently from it. But these will be very easy to get with just doing 1 match a week. But if you collect more orbs from your login rewards or doing more matches, a combination of both, you'll have enough to acquire everything here quite easily. You'll have to ramp them up over the weeks. You have a few weeks for this event. But this is this merchant that you'll check in with on weekly. And then over here we have the big tree. This is where you'll bring your orbs, give this tree your orbs, and you'll receive, said food items. There's different foods. The foods are really good, like great mastery bonus ones. The PvP ones are insane, so you'll probably want these if you're doing any PvP for sieging. These are the things you're going to be using for the next month. So beyond the Tree of Gratitude, that pretty much covers that up. Gigantrite Transformed, I actually thought this dude would be a flying goddamn reindeer when I read this. Turns out he's not. It's still Gigantrite. He's got some lights on him, dude. He's got a cool, Rudolph looking effect, but that's pretty much it there. The Amitoi house decorations we pretty much covered. There's apparently some event bonus rewards. I'm not really positive of what these are. I would guess, though, probably more orbs, food, or the wreaths that you can acquire. But fill out the tree, and we'll see more about that. You get all the tree decorations pretty much within the first week or so. It was like 7 to 10 days, somewhere in there. We'll get everything, including the star on the tree. The Gift Thief Goblin is pretty much just the goblins that already existed in it, you know, but they're probably going to have more of the holiday type rewards on them as well. Probably nothing unique that we couldn't, again, otherwise get. Lastly, we have the event shop and the season pass. So we have another pass that you can pick up. You have the Glacial Star, which we already had. Startree Pass you can pick up. Yes, you have to pay for this as well. So as you do in the holidays, it's time to buck up. You pretty much have more rewards here. Is it worth getting? Sure. A lot of these generally are if you can afford it. Beyond this, though, we have really just some extra growth stones in here, too. This is a bit more unique. These are insanely stupid and cost a lot. Like, I would fill these out. I'd probably pick up Mystic Keys. We have parchments, and in case you really hate yourself, you can pick up additional contracts to fulfill amongst all your other daily duties. That's what you have in the battle pass there. But that pretty much sums up the event and the patch notes as well. The events are always worth doing. You can accumulate a lot of cash for people that were behind on skills, started late, or just didn't get things. It's definitely a good option. If you're like me and you're trying to pick up other weapons too, though, again, a lot of books and growth stones that can be picked up, not just from the pass, but the pass shop, if you can really fill that stuff out. I would focus the event a lot in conjunction with filling out runes. Dimensionals should probably slip like to being the thing you probably don't do if you don't really have time. I'd really fill out doing the event stuff. It's certainly worth doing. There's a lot of money to be made there, especially with the fishing bait. I gotta see if that's a typo, but I'll circle back around that. That apparently is a lot of cash you can make, and Solent is useful. It's not only useful for leveling your skills, but you know, come T2 and stuff, when you jump into material transmutation and you start doing this stuff, like instead of costing, you know, 500k, this stuff's going to cost like 2.5 or 3 million to gamble these things. So working up a higher base of Solent going forward into T2 in the coming months is good to do. So if you anywhere you can acquire and save Solent, do so. It's helpful for you. Okay, that's all I got. Good luck. Enjoy the winter event. Let me know in the comments if I missed something or if there's some other crazy bugs or issues you guys have seen. Take care, y'all.